Let me teach you how simply you can make this beautiful cross wreath.
In order to do the cross wreath, you're going to need a wire frame of a cross, and you're going to need some poly burlap. Well, I am actually using or deco mesh. You could use whatever you like. I'm actually going to be using the deco mesh simply because it's in Canada. There's a big price difference, let's be honest. And you're going to need to cut these. We're going to cut them in 10 by 10 pieces. So we're basically going to spread it out. In order to, you can cut it with a rotary cutter if you wish, but you may get some ends that fray. If you notice, mine aren't fraying so much because I used a wood burning tool. Okay, so you're going to place it down flat on your glass cutting board if you're using the burning tool. And I've got a chisel tip here, and to use paperweights. I'm just gonna turn that around so as not to advertise. There we go, and I think that helps a lot. Let's just make it straight, and off we go to the races. You take your time, but you make sure that you don't go too slow so as not to burn in one spot. And then on to the next I go. Now the way I've done mine is I know that the edge of my glass is actually, and I go straight to 10 inches. Please make sure that you wear a mask when you're doing this because it's plastic. So it does emit fumes when you're burning your burlap. And it's as simple as that. And I'm going to be cutting, if I'm not mistaken, I need 30. One roll will should give you, if it's a true roll of 10 by 10, then you should be able to get 30 by 10. You should be able to get 30 10-inch strips out of one roll, so one cross. You can also use different colors if that's your choice. I chose white this time around just because that is the vision that I had. Now for me, this is not for Easter. This is not for a decoration on my door. It has a much deeper meaning. This is actually going to be the second cross that I make. It is for myself. We lost our son last year, and this is the cross that goes on his we have a little memorial area on our land, and I made him a cross last year. And it's still out there, right, honestly, but it's starting to look tired. So I want to give him a fresh cross at least once a year, and this will be it. So this one has a lot of meaning for me. I'm going to finish burning these, or cutting them I should say, and then I'll come back and we'll start putting this together. All right. Our mesh is all cut. We're now going to take one piece at a time. In this case, for half of them, you're going to put finished edges top to bottom and go from right bottom to left top. You're going to create what looks like a napkin, and then you're going to scrunch this all together and bring them in like so, and they will act. This is not the prettiest one. I was getting towards the end of the roll here. They'll look like angel wings. We're going to, since we have so many to prepare, I like to do all of mine at the same time, so that once that's done, all I have to do is then connect them, add them to the wreath. So I use these little, you can barely see it, elastics to just catch the tip so it holds them together, and then I can move on to the next one. So let's do another one together. So I said I wanted half this way and the other half this way. And the reason why you will see once, it's because I'm very peculiar on the look that I want. And so here we go. And then we bring it in. We have our little angel wings. We're gonna grab an elastic. These are the tiniest elastics. Tie it together and voila. Let me do one more for you, and I will slow myself down. 10 by 10, finished edges top to bottom, bottom right to the top left corner. It looks like a napkin. We're going to scrunch the middle, bring them together. You're going to hold them like this, bring them together, position it, there we go, and tie that together. Tie them into position. Oops. Tie them into position, and there you have it. And you can fluff it and work it. There we go. So I'm going to go and do all of mine, and I'll be right back. Now, we have both our piles, unless you did all one big pile and you've folded and created your petals the same way. I did two different sets of wings. Well, they're the same, except rather than having the two, I did half of my pile with the factory edges top and bottom, grabbed from the bottom right and top to, made my napkin over, brought it over to the top left. The napkin look. For the other side, I flipped and I put my factory edges side to side, folded it over so that I can have a finished edge on the other side. And the reason why I wanted to do it this way is so that I could have the non-finished edge on the inside. And we can now start building our cross and putting it together. So you can do with a Ziploc. You can start off your Ziploc right away and then slip it in. No need to remove your elastics if that's what you used. If you used clips to hold them together, then you'll have to remove your clips. I'm just going to show you the easiest way. I have issues with my hands lately. So you're going to try and put them about even Steven to each other. You keep the tip out by an inch or so. Need to grab the proper one. And voila. Make sure it's tight on there and clip your tails. And now we're ready to move on to the next section. So from each of my piles, here's one, and here's one. See, finished edge on this side goes on here for the outside. Finished edge on top on this side goes on this. And we're going to keep building. You can even prepare 2 zip ties at the same time if that makes it quicker for you. It helps when the zip tie behaves. Now, you want to make sure that when you're sitting it, you're covering the mechanics of the ones below. And voila. And then you can manipulate these. But we already have a very good start. We may not need all of the, I may not need everything that I cut. And now we'll do this again for round 3. Finished edge, non-finished edge on one side, non-finished edge, finished edge. Now, if you notice, this one is sitting on top of that one. So I now want that one to sit on top of this one. So we're going to do this side. So I put this one in first, that one second. Now we're going to do the other side first, and this side, the side closest to me, second. You can also just do it this way without needing to prep your zip tie ahead of time. The thing is with mesh, it has a tendency of catching in a lot of things. And voila. And now we can clip our tips. I will keep going till I'm here, and then I'll come back. Okay, and we're back, and I have all of the tail of the cross completely done at the bottom, and now we can work on the cross and the top part of the cross. So same thing as we did with the length of the bottom of the cross. We're going to start on the edge. Finished side goes on the outside. Unfinished goes on the inside. It's going to be a little bit tricky for me to work. So I'm working on from a different angle. I should have prepared my zip tie. And you're gonna do the same thing here and alternating as well. There we go. And the other side. There we go. We're gonna put this one here. We're gonna do 2 more. Do this side, and then we'll do this side with the what's left. Once that's done, I will come back. And voila, I'm doing my last one. And then we make sure it's to our liking. We fluff it. If we have any strands that we want to cut, we cut them. I think this looks pretty good. I just want to bring these ones over. There we go. Look at that. Perfect. And see how everything is in the corner? We do see the bar here and here, but once we do our center, we should not see any of that. Now see, I have a random one that frayed. And that is it. Next part, we're gonna go see what we're gonna put in the middle. Catch you on the other side. For the center of our cross, this is what I have planned. I'm gonna go with a green theme. It is a bunch of roses and kind of marigold colored type of flowers, I should say, and some boxwood. So we're going to cut them off their stem, and I don't think we need a very long stem, so I'm going to cut them on the short side. I'm going to use this whole bunch. And at this point, I'm thinking about just four of these. I'm going to cut them a little longer for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, and if we need more, we can use the rest. Now let me go get the cross. Here we are back with the cross. And we're going to start with the boxwood. And the boxwood is going to cover, and this is why I said you don't need to worry about the frame showing, because we're going to tie all of these in together. And I refuse to use glue because my cross wreath spends its time outside, a whole year outside before I replace it with another. So we're going to start like this, and then we'll add the rest. Okay, so we're going to start with a zip tie, and I'm going to remove these for now. And let's see, I'm just going to use tie like that. Now we're going to put them all back in. I just want to make sure. This zip tie is very hard to see because it's blending in. There we go. And let's grab that zip tie. Okay, come here now. There we go. And let's just zip tie them all in there. There you go. See, this is our initial, and we're gonna add the flowers next. And I have 2 of these, And I think I'm just going to, let's do this again. I'm going to use this crossbar. I'm trying to avoid, I want to make sure that everything stays in one area. Okay, there we go. We can bend them. Push these up. Bend. These are all sitting in that zip tie. How does that look? Doesn't look too bad, eh? Let's find our zip tie now. Where's the head? Alright, this isn't funny. There it is. On it nice and tight. This is the one that we want to make sure. Let's just cut this off. And we're going to fluff these. And once I'm done fluffing it, I will show you the end product. Okay, so I've decided I needed 2 more boxwoods. I'm going to secure them right here, and that will be our end result. Let me go secure those. One last zip tie. First need to find a spot to tie them in. Right here. Oh, that's perfect. Right here. All right. We're gonna sit one right in here. Sit the other inside right here. Let's grab our zip tie was put on the wrong side. Let's make sure we have it on the right side to start. Oh, goodness. I needed to. It's making its way through, but not in the right spot. Here we go. Here it comes. Voila. In between all of these, let's do this one last time. Get them in there. Zip-a-tie them in. Zip-a-tie. There we go. Then we're going to fluff it again. So thick I can't see. There we go. There we go. Now we're going to fluff it. It looks fuller. This is much better. This one here. There we go. And voila. We have our cross. And you'll be able to see it once I hang it so that you can actually get the whole picture of it. So that's how we make a very simple but beautiful mesh wreath, or mesh wreath cross, I should say. Hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.